this one was coming.
Oh yeah, we did.
You know.
Coming to you live from the Mojave Desert. This isn't actually the Mojave Desert. This is just my house, and
it's hot, but
it's really hot. But we're doing this review anyway.
If you haven't seen from previous videos, we did some song reviews for what's on this album. Where now we're actually talking about the album. We're talking about new album from Bring Me the Horizon.
Yes.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
So we heard Happy Song, we heard Throne. Another one they put out was True Friends, which we didn't do a review of that one.
Yeah, I listened to it like briefly.
And I think the very obvious observation here, with even just those 3 songs alone, without having to listen to all of That's the Spirit, the very obvious here is that this is entirely different than anything that this band has ever done before.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen a lot of bands take, you know, either a turn that's really radical or, you know, continue doing the same thing that they're doing. It's like either bands are making radical changes right now or they're staying almost exactly the same and not growing. It's like we can't find some sort of a medium. But Bring Me the Horizon is no exception to the rule. This
This album actually impressed me. In a way.
I just don't think that we can. I don't think we can categorize them any longer as metal.
Absolutely no metal. I mean, they were metalcore before. I mean, sort of metalcore before with like stuff like on Suicide Season and you know, stuff like that. They're not that anymore.
No,
There's no way.
This is like on the level of like a Papa Roach in reverse. Like
it's hard to categorize it now. It's more. It's got like, I mean, obviously like a Linkin Park feel to it. We said that with Throne.
You're right, and I think it's, if you look at it just for what it is, it's almost like they took the concept of like what bands were doing when like new metal started, and they've kind of like revamped it a little bit and made it a little bit different. I could definitely see a lot of remixes being made out of songs that are on this album. Now, whether or not you like it as a metal record, you have to put that aside.
I don't think it's not a metal record.
And if you're not looking at it as a metal record, is it good?
Yes.
I think so.
I don't
think it's too bad. Like, a lot of people are gonna have mixed feelings about it just because they're so used to the formula.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean? You have to not look at it as a metal record, and you have to be objective about it.
You know, I think that's why I was disappointed with Throne the first time I heard it. Now I have no problem with it.
Because when you look at it in the album, in the context that it's in, it's suddenly different.
Yeah.
On its own, and expecting what, you know, we thought we were going to get from them, at the time it didn't seem right. It didn't seem, it seemed like too radical.
But I mean, now that I've heard the diversity through this album, it started off well. I mean, Doomed is like, I was like,
it's a weird way to start.
Doomed, I was like, okay, I guess. And then I like Happy Song, Throne is good, True Friends is alright, and then after that is, I believe, where I mean, it's already diverse
I'd say
enough.
it was around like Avalanche, for like track 7. From that point on and after, I was kind of like...
Follow You is the diversity. I mean, it's already diverse to begin with, but I think the diversity really takes off when it gets to Follow You.
It tries to ease you into it.
In between Follow You and Drown. That part of the album, it didn't click with me at first. Now I think it's good because, I mean, you got to get in that mindset, like you said, like this isn't a metal record.
Yeah.
This band is not that anymore. I mean, they incorporated a little bit, obviously, because that's what they started out as, but they're not that anymore. And then tracks like Blasphemy and Oh No,
Blasphemy,
I thought was perfect. I really enjoy those songs.
Well, because by that point of the record, it's like about to end, and you're in that mindset, like it. It's a transitional record, but is it a bad record? If you're looking at it as not a metal record, which seems to be what this band would like, then
I think that's exactly what they want.
I don't think, I think that and a lot of bands have done this. Look at Mastodon. A lot of bands have gone from being like pretty like heavy to finding maybe the sweet spot that, you know, that they could. You know, they got into doing music, doing that. And then once they had the spotlight, they were like, hey, we can like maybe shift this in a way that we can find that sweet spot.
With That's the Spirit, the band sounds very, very confident. in the sound that they
They do.
put in.
Yeah.
What they use in their material now, they use very well.
It's a lot of
I think.
it's a lot of electronic.
It's more. It's a lot of synthesizers.
Yeah, it's like there's
and,
the text. It's not necessarily
a lot
like,
of keyboard stuff and all
yeah,
that.
not just what they're playing, but like the textures. You know.
But they use it very well.
Yeah,
There's a lot. There's some good hooks in a lot of these songs here.
If you're a fan of this band, it's going to be probably difficult to get into it. But once you listen to it a few times and you look and understand the direction that they want to go musically, you might feel a little bit differently about it, because the flavoring of Bring Me the Horizon is still there. It's just packaged in a different way, and you have to be mentally ready to embrace that packaging.
This band, you know, it continues to they continue to impress me.
Yeah,
I think even despite going to something, you know, different that I mean I'm not too familiar with as far as sound, this band still impresses me, you know, with what they do in their material.
it's hard making records.
Yeah.
You gotta stop and really think about that sometimes. Like, to come out with material that is well thought out, well written, it's an original. That's the main. It's hard. And a lot of bands, you know, Bring Me the Horizon's been around for a little bit now. And now I think they're probably at the point in their career where it's like, you know what, like, it's time to make a change, and it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, I welcome this album.
At least they did it well. They did what they were trying to do well.
Big impression for us here is don't look at That's the Spirit as a metal album.
Right.
Because it's not
you need
that.
to look at it right for what it is, and that what it is something of its own. Now it's becoming it's something totally different. So make sure that before you listen to it, that you prepare yourself for that. Otherwise, you might leave it with a bad taste in your mouth.
Right.
So.
I mean, definitely check it out.